Now, sources have told Al Jazeera that Hamas has agreed to a US proposal for a ceasefire in Gaza. It's understood that the group and the US Special Envoy, Steve Witkoff, have agreed to a draft deal at a meeting in Qatar's capital, Doha. Sources tell us it includes a 60-day ceasefire and the release of 10 living captives in 2 stages. The US president will guarantee the terms of the deal and the withdrawal of Israeli troops. Sources say it would guarantee unconditional humanitarian aid from day one. The American envoy is said to have sent the draft to the Israeli government and is currently waiting for a response. Well, let's bring in Al Jazeera's senior political analyst, Marwan Bishara. He joins us now from Paris. Marwan, amid all this speculation, tell us what you make of all this. Is there genuine progress happening here?
Well, there's certainly certain confusion, especially in light of the retractions that we hear from Washington. And hence, I think there's probably one of 3 explanations or scenarios. Scenario number 1 is that the United States and Israel, or Witkoff and Netanyahu, are playing good cop, bad cop. In the sense is that there is a division of labor, and they're trying merely to pressure Hamas by hook or crook, as it were, to make major concessions, accept an exchange deal without ending the war. Or it could be that there's real disagreement between Witkoff and Netanyahu, and Witkoff has basically lost all faith in Netanyahu because Netanyahu doesn't want to stop the war for his own personal and ideological reasons. And that's why Witkoff is actually creating a new contact directly with the hostage families in Israel. And the third and last, I would say it's somewhere in between, meaning we are in a moment of flux, whereby the good cop, bad cop is giving way to a major differences between the United States and Israel, whereby Trump has basically lost faith in Netanyahu and wants to pursue a deal like he did earlier with releasing that one American Israeli. I think the third is probably more likely in light of the international pressure that is building up.
You speak about the international pressure. Despite all of that, Israel seems to have only ramped up its campaign in Gaza, despite all of that international condemnation. What do you think the relationship is like right now between Netanyahu and the White House? You've said that there might be increasing pressure. Could that lead to some kind of break?
Well, here we go again, right? I mean, there's one of 2 possible explanations of why Israel is intensifying. One, it's because maybe it feels that time is running out and it's turning on its most sadistic possible bombardment of burning, killing, bombing, and so on and so forth in Gaza, so that when the time comes, Netanyahu would say, look, I did everything possible. I've killed so many and I've destroyed so much and so on and so forth. Or, in fact, he doesn't give a damn about what the Europeans and others are saying, because they are not walking their talk. In a sense that, yes, they are expressing their criticism and their objection to the way the war is going. They don't like the pictures of famine, of children dying and starving. But at the end of the day, what are exactly doing except certain symbolic steps? And that's why Netanyahu thinks he can still get away with doing what he does, because Trump has not put a stop to it.
Well, let me ask you then about some of the details that are ostensibly in this draft document, because they're also a little confusing. It reportedly includes this 60-day ceasefire, but then also talk of an Israeli withdrawal. We've been talking for months now about red lines. I mean, Hamas has always said that it would not accept a temporary ceasefire. So is there any movement then with the red lines?
Well, this is the thing, right? I mean, Netanyahu is even adding new red lines to the original red lines. And that's where you are absolutely right. There is confusion because, of course, 1, there is no direct negotiations. And 3, the United States is negotiating on behalf of Israel. And we hear all these retractions. Yes, they agreed. No, they agreed. Yes, I'm disappointed, and so on and so forth. Again, my sense is that when it comes to that one explosive point, there is no agreement. Hamas insists that there is no point of all of this. It's not a question of hostages. It's not a question of prisoners. It's not just an exchange. It's a question of ending the war and the withdrawal of Israeli forces from Gaza. For Netanyahu, it's exactly the opposite. He must continue with the war, and he doesn't want to withdraw from Gaza. And his pretext is that his coalition will implode, and there is absolutely no need for him to do that until and unless he is able to disarm Hamas and kick them and the rest of Gazans out of the Strip.
Marwan, this idea that there might be some kind of US guarantee for the terms of any deal that is eventually agreed, if at all. What do you make of that? Is the US in a position to be able to make those kinds of guarantees?
That is such a good point. That is such a good point, because we in the media and our viewers around the world must have memory. We all must have memory. We can't just think of in terms of the day and the week and the month. Biden, the former president, gave such guarantees, quote unquote guarantees, in the sense he said many times in public that the three-phase deals means that after phase one, Israel and the Palestinians will continue to negotiate without the war resuming. That's what he guaranteed. And that's where they went into the Security Council with that kind of resolution, saying that the American president says that if they go in good faith in phase one, phase two, phase three, there's going to be no problem. It's going to be resolved. But guess what? The American president was not able to walk his talk. And Israel basically ended up after phase one saying, look, we don't give a damn. Biden is out, Trump is in. And the war continued even more or worse than it ever was. Will Trump be able to do what Biden couldn't do? Is there a will on the part of the Trump administration to do that? And why? None of that is clear for the time being.
Marwan Bishara, Al Jazeera's senior political analyst, there speaking to us from Paris today. We'll be following this very closely for you here on Al Jazeera. Thank you, Marwan.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.